When did you? The full person. But you need to then come. The honey looks plastic. You think you have a drive?
Test it. Friends and family, I know that the courtyard over here is a great place to stand, but if we could try our best just to move and fill the grass area as best as possible. So if you are kind of right there by the toilets area, it's going to be a bit difficult to hear and see a bit later on. I know it's a bit difficult. There's people standing, and you want to find a place to see. Let's do the best we can. Thanks. And just a quick update, we will be starting very shortly, just waiting for the family to just get all settled and we'll get going. Thank you.
Here at 7 this morning. I think nothing's taken. What are you having in the dish? What if you kiss something? Then that goes out of that. Gotcha. Look. Okay. How long is this video?
Something evenings.
Huh?
Something evenings.
Gonna be an 8. Oh, yes. What's that? What? Yeah. Can me and play?
You doing this?
Actually, yeah. It's a thing about.
What's the topic of this? Plenty of them up.
Okay, read that.
That's when you feel the bounce. Stoop.
If they're not here, they're late. I think so. No, one
Time to spend when it gets started. All right. I think we are a couple of seconds away from getting started. Those on this side, I'm really worried about you being able to hear, but if you're comfortable there, Vitri, you good? Okay, fantastic. Oh my heavens, did we expect so many people? When I look around here, there's clearly over 1,000, I would say. Don't know if anyone's good with math, but I wouldn't expect anything less. And I don't think any of us would either. So a warm welcome to friends and family here on this. We couldn't have asked for a better day. This is a perfect day and a beautiful day for a beautiful human being, Anton. We're going to get through proceedings as efficiently, but also as meaningfully as possible, with respect for the family and friends that are here. And just a huge thank you to all of you for coming out here. And of course, we don't want to get into all the thank yous, but thank you to everyone involved. The food, you know who you are. The organization, you know who you are. And just, I want to give a blanket thank you, so we don't need to go into specifics. So thank you to all those who've been involved. And the clap was started by Anton's mom. So let's start how we mean to carry on in memory of Anton. I do need to.
There's some chairs available for those that need to sit.
So there are, I think, maybe 4 or 5 chairs here. If someone is struggling to stand for an hour, please just come pull in. There we go. Thank you. Make yourself known. That's great. Just some house rules very quickly. Got to get through this before we get into the proceedings. As we can all see, there are some toilets on the side there for those who need it. Some portaloos, but very nice ones too. We've spoken about the seating, and those are for those who need it. So if you do look around and you're able to sit, and there's someone less able to sit, please keep a seat for them. That would be great. And also, considering the circumstances, if we could please ask that we just avoid alcohol at this specific event over the next hour or two, just in memory of Anton. That's been a request from the family, so thank you for doing that. There is tea and coffee afterwards, as well as food on the side here, but we'll get to that a bit later. And then just wrapping up the house rules, please let's keep everything clean. If you knew Anton well enough, you know we need to keep everything clean, okay? And then just finally, actually, no, before I get to the final point, there is a book by the surfboard over there. It's over there. Is that right? For those over the course of the hour following the proceedings, you can always pop in there, pop a little message. Please be as clean as possible, although we all know that, we always want to be our honest self with Anton. So let's move ahead with that. And then finally, as we go forward, let's just, if I could ask, and I've been trying to find a way to word this because Nicole said, word this nicely, Adam, because I want everyone to know from a family how loved and appreciated you are and how much they appreciate you. And that's the God's honest truth. But just know that there is plenty of time after this, over the next days, weeks, to give hugs and kisses and maybe just avoid overwhelming the family today, just as we move forward. And I think that I've included everything. So with that said, a warm welcome again to everyone here. And in line with Anton's mom, let's give a round of applause just to start the proceedings with Anton. So with that said, we're first going to hear from Nick and potentially Theo. Is Theo with us there, Nick? See if the both of you can come up here and muster it up together. Following Nick and Theo giving some remarks from Anton's local community here, we're going to hear from Leon and team to come up here and give a musical item, and then we'll go from there. Nick, Theo.
Sure. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, and just everybody out there that knew Anton. I'm completely honored and blessed to have been asked to do this eulogy or part of the eulogy today, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely shitting myself. So hopefully I don't stuff this up, and hopefully he appreciates what I have to say. So it was a drizzly autumn evening, 10-ish odd years ago, that Lizzie and I wandered into Hermanus town from Verhoogt and decided on a whim to pop into Fisherman's Cottage, the sort of famous Fisherman's Cottage. And the waiters kind of looked at us strangely because we just walked in without a booking. And they said, sure, we can seat you outside, but unfortunately it's fully booked inside. And as we sat outside, it started to drizzle on us. We were just having a drink and a small starter. And the waiters shuffled us into the service bar, which we thought was fun and different. But I mean, over the following 10 years, how much time we spent in that little service bar, laughing, enjoying. And this bubbly character kept bursting out of the kitchen. And anyone who's been into that kitchen realizes that everything is probably at about 5'7", and Anton's a good 6'2". So ducking and diving, laughing, chatting, welcoming people, reprimanding staff, making sure people were met at the door. And that was our first touch of Anton Verhoogt. Shoot forward a couple of months, and by Bevan and a couple of the locals here, we were luckily invited to go out to a trip to Soupy's Cliff on the dunes, as we'd call it. And we all rambled together and planned in the week to get together. And we drove out, and anyone who's been out there realizes that some of the road is pretty tough. So 4x4s are kind of needed for the last little bit. And we just arrived at campsite, and somebody said, listen, Anton and have arrived. Any chance you can quickly shoot back and go and pick them up? And I said, happily, I'll go through and kind of bounced back down the road and arrived at this little spot, and the Nissan X-Trail doors were flung open. Like Things were exploding out of the doors. Nicole was standing on the side with baby on hip, and I looked to my left, and Anton, or this guy, was standing looking into the distance with no shirt on and his boardies, and this map of Africa on his back.
Yes.
And to this day, that's something that's always stuck with me. Anton absolutely loved Africa. We then loaded everything into the car and laughed and spoke about stories, and we were both smoking at the time, so the windows were open and we were having a ciggy, and we arrived at the spot, and out popped all of these little plastic containers with bits of food in, and we brought Vors and rolls to the beach. Anton's the only guy who would arrive with kind of a 5-course meal and do great like braised courgettes on the fire in the beach in the middle of nowhere. And that was kind of my first touch. From then onwards, we saw each other almost every week, whether for a beer or a dinner at Fisherman's or a braai. Him and Nicole and Nina, and then later Nico and Willem, they burst into our lives, as only the Verhoogt clan can do. And we were so lucky to have them. We fell madly in love with the Verhoogts. And my friend, you will be missed. Lizzie and I are the better for knowing you guys. And don't worry, bud. We've got Nicole and the team who look after them. Hermanus and all of us as residents were part of Anton's tribe. And for most of us, he was our leader. Caring, gentle, loving, humble, but when needed, strong, tough, and passionate. Those close to him, as many of us were, we know and love those traits and will certainly miss them going forward. We're here to celebrate the life of someone whose presence, both in the kitchen and in town, touched so many of us. Today we remember Anton, a man whose passion for cooking was only rivaled for the love of his family. He was a chef, yes, but he was so much more than that. He was an artist, a dreamer, a mentor, and a friend. And though he's no longer with us, his spirit will remain in the flavors he crafted and the waves he conquered and the lives he touched. In the kitchen, he was an unparalleled talent. He understood food, not just as nourishment, but as an experience. Every dish he prepared told a story. His roots, his travels, his inspirations, and most of all, his talent. He had such a gift for transforming the ordinary into extraordinary. And for those who benefit, like it ever benefit going to Barefoot Cook, Anton would just create things out of nothing on a whim. And people would come back 3 weeks later, ask for the same thing, and he would have forgotten what he had actually made. What truly set Anton apart was the way he lived. So completely, so fully, and with so much joy and passion. Whether riding the crest of a wave or working in a line and a recipe, he did it with an infectious energy and inspired everyone around him. I think what most of us will remember about Anton, besides his genius, is the way he made us feel. He had this rare gift of making you feel seen, heard, and valued. He had the patience to teach, the kindness to encourage, and the humor to keep us all laughing, even during the most stressful moments in our lives. So let us remember this legacy isn't just the food he created or the waves he rode. His legacy is in each of us. The lessons he taught, the joy he brought, and the way he showed us that life is about savoring every moment and never giving up, even when it gets tough. May the waves carry you, my friend, and your passion will live long, not only in us, not only in your tribe, but in this very town that we were all lucky that you called home.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Some of my friends here will be surprised that not only can I spell, I can read too. Well, Anton, you were the first person I met in this town, and even then, something about you felt different. I didn't have the words for it then. I barely do now. You lived for your people. Somehow, by grace or luck, we became part of your orbit. You lived for your family and you made us part of it by shared fires, good wine, and laughter. It was a kind friendship that asked nothing but gave everything. You showed up every time. No questions, no hesitation, and with certainty. You had our backs. And the heat of kitchens with pans clashing and fires flaring, you made chaos beautiful. And when the dust settled, it was your presence, that rare kind of energy that made people feel safe, seen, and part of something. Thank you for the fireside talks, the laughs, and the love. I'll carry those moments with me always. In ending, I just want to read something a mutual friend, Jonathan, wrote for Anton. Jono could not be here today. In life, we meet people that change the essence of our existential experience. You were one of them. So abruptly human, so abruptly unique. Brother, you will be deeply missed. Thank you. Sure.
Goeiemôre almal, gemeente, vriende, familie. Anton, my vriend, my broer, my rede. You are deeply missed or forever loved. You know, Anton never cared for status, he never cared for station. To him, everyone is equal. Everyone is worthy of kindness. Anton's light shines so brightly, and when it shined on you, you felt it deeply. He was a force, a mighty, joyful, unstoppable force. He didn't just talk about ideas, he acted on them. Anton could inspire, he could influence, he could unite. He made people feel like they belonged, that they mattered. That's why we're all here today, because he made us feel like we mattered. His superpower, his connection, and his legacy is love. That love continues through his family, Nicole, Nina, Willem, Nico. It lives on through you. His children, not only do you bear his likeness, you also embody his beautiful traits, his gifts, his talents, and his gorgeous spirit. I would not be the man I am today if it wasn't for him. I would not have met my wife if it weren't for him. I would not have this incredible life without him. Anton's love for music was apparent. It was part of his beautiful, beautiful spirit. And to honor that, I dedicate this song to him. The song is about love. The song is about connection. The song is about being truly, truly present as he was. It's a song by Eddie Vedder. I'm going to ask your friend Emma Bunza to come up and assist me with the song.
Yes, I understand every life must end. Oh, as we sit alone, I know someday we must go. Oh, yeah, I'm a lucky man to count on both my hands the ones I left. Some folks just have fun, and others they got none. Oh, stay with me. Oh, let's just breathe. Practice every day, never gonna let me win. No. Under everything, just another human being. Oh, yeah, I don't wanna hurt. There's so much in this world that make me bleed. Stay with me. You're all I see. Did I say that I need you? Did I say that I want you? Well, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, I wonder every day. As I look upon your face, oh, everything you gave and nothing you would take. Oh, nothing you would say. Everything you care. Hold me till I die. Meet you on the other side.
Just, oh, crap. Now I need to get up and speak. Make it very quick because the next two people we're going to hear from is representatives from both sides of the family. So I believe Anita first. Where is Anita? I don't see you. There you are. Got you. And then followed by Anita Salette. That's you as well, right? Yeah. So straight after Anita, hop up, and then I'll pop up and give the rest of the proceedings. Anita.
To Anton's community, the ocean, with its endless, calm, mostly, enthralling, shiny exterior, and magical seabed below, where the glittering reflections reflect of everything that comes and goes, filled with abundance, giving, nurturing, and sustaining all within her. And on top of it all, a captain who needed that ocean with brave soldiers, some pirates, some explorers, some short, some tall, but he needed them all. And together they would navigate her waters in rhythm and rhyme, in high tides and low. However forceful, overwhelming, and consuming, rough and uncompromising, even bashful, yet they would come back for more. They respect and love the ocean with care. So is the ocean. It is complex, but it is fair. Thank you. Cheers to his sea, to his community. Thank you, guys. We stand here as a family, not able to tell you tales of Anton. I'm sorry, not yet. And honestly, if we were to start, we would really not get to leave, as Anton's adventures are endless. No actions, nor stupid words will bring him back. Simply, his journey here has been halted too soon. We, in our loss, have received a gift, though, a gift of insight and reflection through experiencing his community that he has left behind, which, by the way, is more O's, more bigger than I could imagine until a few days ago. As a family, we have chosen to cherish, honor, and celebrate him by acknowledging and learning from his ability to be real. We knew he could be real, but this is a new level of real. He gave attention to everyone, no matter what the cost. And he wore his sleeve on his shoulder for all to see. He really didn't care. He was real like that. And that was real hard for me. I wouldn't be able to do that, but he did that with you. He fed, as you all know, not only exquisite food, but Anton somehow could feed a sense of belonging by being gezellig, by being loyal, by being empathetic, by being passionate, and always having the door open. Kind of like a hearty soup on a cold winter's day. However, with garnish and. Nicole, thank you. Thank you for the love you have for their son and our brother. He became the man we know now after you showed him what it means to grow. We are here with you, and together we will succeed with this family tree. We are immensely proud and thankful that Anton's legacy has made so much impact in everyone's life. Thank you all for the support, like you here today. And for those of you, yeah, I see you watching from far away. It's like a superstar. I've never felt like such a legend with bikers and surfers in one day. And we take comfort. Thank you, boys and aeroplanes. We take comfort in knowing that Nicole, Nina, Willem, and Nico will continuously be held in the arms of the community that Anton loves so much. Rust in vrede, Anton Hermanus Verhoogt. Dag lieve schat. Dag lieve man. Vader, hun zoon en ons broer. Je bent een beer van een vriend.
I must not follow that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Sulet, Nicole's sister, Anton's sister-in-law. I don't have a fancy piece of paper. I'm just here to speak from my heart. Forgot my dark glasses. I realized that was a fatal mistake because everyone looks cool and you can't see you crying, so that was a big mistake. Yeah. Firstly, this is like overwhelming to see everyone, but it's actually not overwhelming. It's not surprising because we're all here because of Anton, and he was just a freaking legend. He is a legend. So yes, I'm not surprised because we are all here because in some way or in many ways, our lives have been touched by Anton. Anton not only drew people into this incredible place behind us here, this restaurant that is a living, breathing thing, with his charm, with his humor, with his smile, with his charisma. He drew us into his life. I can repeat what everyone said, but as Anita said, the words just right now don't mean anything, but he pulled us into his life. My first connection and my dad's connection and my mom's connection to Anton is that we shared a deep love for the same woman. That's amazing. Me too. Yeah, I thank my sister um, for the gift of having a brother that I never had, for my mom and my dad having a son-in-law, and that I got to be part of the intimate part of Anton's life. Sorry, I'll probably. Sorry. Okay. So I feel blessed that I got to know that I got to be part of Anton's life, and that I got to share secret things with Anton, like working on yachts together and working in Saudi together that nobody got to do. So, but what I want to say is right now, we're all sitting here, these words, after the soup or tomorrow or the next day, they're going to be gone. But what's not going to be gone is the impact Anton had on our lives. So look around, look at everyone here. This is just incredible. And so each one of us, I just keep feeling we're each sitting with a different shape wound right now from losing Anton. And that's different to each one of us in this town. So I guess my prayer is, as that wound heals and as this recipe of grief, as we figure out our recipe of grief, which is this beautiful recipe of sadness and anger and regret and brokenness, but also beauty and gratefulness, as we figure that all out and as these waves come and go, we will be there for each other, and that it'll leave like this Anton-shaped scar with us forever to never stop living life to the full. And we will, Anton, we love you. We will never forget you, and just thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Big shout out to Fisherman's Cottage and paying tribute to Anton. Thank you.
Dear friends and family, we come together to celebrate the life of Anton, a person whose presence touched our lives in ways big and small. As we gather together to remember and honor Anton, I'm reminded of the countless memories we shared, the laughter, the tears, and the moments that defined his life. Anton was more than just a boss. He he was also a friend, a brother. He was a pillar of strength, a source of comfort, and a beacon of love. His generosity, sense of humor, inspired us all to be better versions of ourselves. I remember when Anton helped me go through my depression, he took me to professionals, bought me medication. It's a memory I'll cherish forever. Anton had a way of making others feel seen, heard, or loved, and his presence in our lives was a gift. As we reflect on Anton's life, we are reminded of his great work he has done in supporting the community through charity and sharing knowledge. Anton lived life with purpose and passion, and his legacy will continue to inspire us. In the days ahead, as we navigate the grief of losing Anton, let's hold on to the memories we shared. Let's celebrate his life, his love, and the impact he had on our lives. Let's find strength in each other and in the love that Anton shared with us. To Anton, we say, your memory will live on in our hearts. Your love will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, dear Anton. You will be deeply missed, but your legacy will forever be cherished. Thank you.
Thank you. Just as we move into the latter part of the proceedings, we're going to be hearing quickly from Oliver and Yaku, after which, where's Bev? There he is, right over there. We can hear a few words from Bev. A few words, Bev. You never know, Bev. We've got to, can everyone please help me keep Bev accountable for this final talk? Oliver, there we go.
Sure. It's amazing to see him. So, if I had to choose one word to define Anton, it would be eagerness. Whether it was food, friendship, or adventure, he lived unmatched enthusiasm. For those that don't know, in our old friendship circle, a badge of honor is bestowed upon you with a nickname. Now, Anton didn't only have one for his whole life like me. At least three stuck well over the quarter of a century I was lucky enough to know him. The first time I met old Anton was at a house party back in 1999. A bunch of us teenagers back then, believe it or not, was in a farm outside looking for a party up a storm. There's only a bunch of teenagers in the 90s who knew how to. And a bunch of our friends were jamming a game. Anton burst onto the scene like a blind force of energy and completely messed up the game as he was so eager to get involved. Needless to say, most of us were not impressed, but Anton stuck around. For the rest of high school, we eventually received the nickname Gandalf or Gandhi, as he always would rock up at gatherings of a walking stick, a t-shirt of Gandalf the Grey on it. As the years grew, so did Anton's gears. You could always find him in town for a jog or on the front left, full of energy, always keen to make a mission. His time in the culinary arts also enabled him to make something amazing of whatever scraps you had in your fridge. It always shouldn't surprise you that his eagerness led to the butcher boys rocking up to the braai of a sheep bleating from the passages. Once he completed his studies, Anton was eager to set sail, working on a cruise liner and visiting our friends over in the US and also in Europe. I believe this is where he received the nickname Holland as he was traveling the oceans. He was always eager to reconnect back home through back then, his family and friends through group emails, always following up, always sharing stories, always directing to people directly in the group email, or a phone call when he could, updating us on how things went. This is something that never changed no matter how far or near you were. Then Anton met Nicole, the love of his life. She was the one tasked to anchor this adventurous Dutchman. She took him to a secluded island in the Seychelles, away from all temptations, to work. The relationship grew, and soon after return, they were ready to tie the knot and start the amazing family they have today. They then decided to pack everything up and move to the far-flung town of Hermanus. We all wondered why. Visiting their restaurant was like entering their home. You leave relaxed, well-fed, and after at least one shot of tequila, here Anton became the unofficial Wolfsian of Hermanus, spreading his light and gears into the lives of so many who entered the doors, as you can see here today. Adventure followed Anton like a shadow, whether it was making a mushroom hikes, police raids at Bohemia, or epic family stretchy adventures at the Klein River Mont. He never chose the quiet path, and we wouldn't want him any other way. Anton gave us stories, laughter, a touch of madness, and a whole lot of heart. And every one of us, a spark of his spirit lives on. Willem Antonius Verhoogt, thank you for the impact you had not only in my life, but also in the thousands more of the last 25 years. I am lucky enough to say you are my friend.
I've known Anton most of my life. I've always wanted to be one of his friends. When we were in primary school, he was Paul's little brother. If you can, if you can imagine a 6'2" twin, but it's how I first knew him. I think we were 12 years old or something. But we really became close friends after school when he was chefing. He started chefing with the same school as Bob, and it culminated here at Fisherman's Cottage, where I think all of us have probably eaten and drunk more than we've ever paid for. So, to speak of his generous spirit. Anton had boundless energy. He was always up for something. He was incredibly knowledgeable, and I learned an incredible amount from him. I think more than, well, most of us in his friendship group learned how to forage mushrooms from him. I learned about foraging. I learned about preparing food, identifying birds, and fly fishing. I also learned that if you're ever caught fly fishing on somebody else's land, the best thing to do is to confidently walk up to the farmer and reassure him that we're both close friends of his son. Which neither of us were. The charm worked. Anton was a hard worker, an accomplished chef. I remember though seeing him after the first few shifts of his with various restaurants he worked in Cape Town. He'd come back, arms covered in birds, fingers covered in cuts, but always enthusiastic. He always kept working. And I think we all always had the sense that there was more to come, that he hadn't reached his full chefing potential. He was always impressing, he was always learning. And even when I served him some of my creative attempts at food, it made me feel less about it. He always made me feel equal. He was an incredibly humble person to that degree, and he had a humility that I think belied his skill set and his talents. He made you feel equal, even though he was an impressive person. He, as his friend, he wore his heart on his sleeve. You never had to ask him how he was doing. You could see it written all over the face, especially if he was feeling guilty about something. You know, you didn't have to ask him. It'll take him 2 or 3 minutes and he would tell you everything you needed to know. And you could tell him what he didn't want to hear. You could tell him when he needed to make right, and he always did it. He was an incredibly strong person in that sense. He took on criticism and he made right with people. He wasn't one to hold a grudge. He was incredibly strong. He had as we all know, an overly generous spirit. He was kind and accepted everyone, no matter how flawed. He gave everybody a second or a third chance. He was constantly forgiving. And he was loving. He loved his parents. He was incredibly proud of them. I've had countless conversations about Eddie and Willem with him throughout our years. He was incredibly proud of his father and the way he lived his life, his father's success in life. And really, it's where he found his love for food, the offside of the family. He was always incredibly proud of me. Some of the best conversations I had. He was always going on telling us about Anita's success, Paul's exploits. And Nicole, I remember the first time he came back, I think, from taking you out. And I spoke to him, and the thing I remember after the conversation was he told me about how you opened, I think he had an apartment at the time. You opened the door and you had your dog Sasha with him. And the way he told the story, it sounded like there was a golden light shining behind you, right? But this one was different. And he loved you so much. It's I don't even need to say it. He loved his children. He was always encouraging. He was always trying to teach them something. Incredibly proud of them. And as his friend, he knew he loved you, not just by his actions and his generosity, but he knew he loved you because he would tell you. He would often tell you how much he valued you in friendship. And this is sincerity I'll always miss. I'll never be able to walk through the squad again without seeing Anton standing outside. And he'd turn and he'd look at you and he'd see you. And you'd start smiling. And it's like the hug you're about to receive starts 20 meters away before you even get to him. And it's that memory is etched into my mind forever. I will always miss Anton. I think we will always miss Anton. He loved us and we loved him very much. Thank you.
Somebody help.
Relax. Wow, when you're sitting down here, you guys can't see what I can see.
In the mic. In the mic.
I didn't want to talk in the mic.
Too late.
I once had to do something up in Newton Johnson. And for some reason, Anton or somebody got me to talk. And Thierry, you guys might remember, we were up there and I just got up and started talking. And I finished and Anton just came over to me. He said, dude, you fucked up. I said, what? He said, you didn't introduce yourself. I said, this is a Magnus, pal. Everybody knows me. Those who either don't know me, he cucked on me from a dizzy height right then and there. I was like, so I'm Devon.
Yeah, Devon.
Remember Anton. During the final hour of last Saturday, I thought our beautiful world, as we know it, was broken. So broken. By the early hours of Sunday morning, I realized that I was wrong. It wasn't broken. Judging by the sheer volume and number of messages that just came pouring in, I realized that it was in fact shattered. Totally, totally shattered. When something is broken, more often than not, it can be fixed. Maybe some glue, a few nuts and bolts, perhaps a replacement part. But when something shatters, we have to pick up those pieces, if we can, and we have to deposit them somewhere. And then we commit what was shattered to memory. If it's important, and it was an important thing, we replace it, and we find another, and we carry on. We will never be able to find another answer, and we can never replace it, but we will carry on. We have to carry on, and we will commit our beloved man to our memories. How do we remember Anton? A,
for awesome. N is for notorious. And for those of you that don't know what notorious, that's famous for being naughty. T was for tremendous. We all know how tremendous he was. O is for outstanding. And N, just so natural. He was natural. So we need to remember him. And we remember him for all of the above and so many of his other qualities. How do I remember Anton? Out of all the memories that I have with Anton, one of my first realizations about him was he was a real doer. He was so proactive, an incredibly productive man. He didn't sit and talk about doing things. He simply did them. And he did them brilliantly. In fact, the only time Anton ever spoke about events was when he was organizing them. Sorry. And another brilliant thing about Anton is he never basked in his own brilliance. He, and he never basked in his own brilliance. And he never sought praise for his actions. He was always just trying to work out how he could do it better next time. I bet you if he was here, he'd be going, oh, we need to put the toilets over there next time, this over there. That's always what he was like. So I'm just going to let you know, Anton, these people here are here to let you know you did everything brilliantly.
I think it was record time, Bev. Well done. You did such a great job. So, friends and family, as we come to the final stage of the proceedings, we're just going to play a quick video in remembrance of Anton, followed which I'll wrap things up. We can go from there. Let's just hope that technology is on our side today. If you cannot see the TV, please feel free to come around. There is a small bit of sitting space on the grass here. Sorry that the sun is at your face there, but just get a bit shaded, and if anything, just listen. The video will be distributed afterwards, so just maybe give 30 seconds for everyone to come around. There's a nice space right over here if you would like to come. Are you okay there? Okay. The year was 1982. Michael Jackson released Thriller, and E.T. phoned home for the first time. Biggest, most seismic event was the birth of Anton Verhoogt. So allow me to cue some music from Anton's personal favorites, and let's dive in. Come gather around, people, wherever you roam. Now, Anton wasn't just any ordinary kid. He was, in the words of his mother, a little shit. And she meant it with nothing but love. Because that spark of naughtiness, that cheeky grin, that endless curiosity, that was Anton's secret sauce. It was his superpower. The world was his playground, and he explored it with no breaks. Whether it was not listening and getting left behind at a petrol station because Pac-Man was apparently more important than getting into the family camper after being asked a million times, or deciding that a brand new bathroom was just too plain, so he and Paul colored in the white grouting with red nail polish. Maybe playing with his siblings on the jungle gym, only to knock out his baby teeth on the steel poles. But what we've come to actually learn is that it wasn't just mischief, it was an adventure. It was a love for life that would define him for decades to come. Now, it wasn't just about adventure, it was about people. Anton made friends everywhere. His circle wasn't a circle, it was a tree of many branches, connections that stretched through every place he touched. If you needed help, he was there. If you needed a laugh, he was there. If you needed a friend, you guessed it, Anton was there. And it all just came naturally. And then came Nicole, the love of his life. Together, they built an amazing family, three beautiful children, which were his pride and joy. And of course, Fisherman's Cottage, which wasn't just a place to eat, it was a gathering spot, the heartbeat of the community, a reflection of a family who made everyone feel welcome. So yeah, Anton wasn't just a husband, father, or friend. He was a magnet. He brought people together. Where every gathering just seemed to be that much better with him. So let's go back to his playlist and get a little bit soppy with some Eric Clapton. Because the reality is that the passing of Anton has left a pretty big gap in everyone's lives. Because as we look back at these moments, whether it's red nail polish and grouting, Pac-Man priorities, intimate moments with the jungle gym, some really great experiences on a hunt together, or a shoulder to lean on in the smallest pub in South Africa, or maybe even a core memory at Sophie's Club. How's the vibe? Welcome to the meeting. It's you. I know you, Anton. You mean point? I know. That's not big boy. He's small boy. We remember that his legacy isn't just the stories we tell, but it's the love we felt from the kindness, not just to his family and friends, but to his entire community. Anton, can I ask you a question? Yes. Where are we right now? In the middle of nowhere. We really are. Right. So, Anton, you buxom. Here's to you, my friend. You're loved and Godspeed until we meet again. I'm standing with people in life who don't know, who can't find happiness. While it's for free. That's right there. You know how to get it. I try. Yeah, there we go. Anton, you rat. I love that guy. And as we all did. Thank you to everyone who's spoken, who shared their thoughts, and thank you to everyone who has come and support. I've been asked just to finalize everything by sharing what someone asked, just a spiritual thought. Thought to myself, Anton, he was he was a good friend. He was my hunting buddy. Or as he called it, harvesting. He'd have to go and harvest his own meat. He would never take a life unless it was willing to partake it and give it to others. And he would always go and we would harvest for the restaurant. And you get to know someone when you go and hunt in the bush together. You sit around the bush TV and you speak a little bit of things and a little bit of spirituality from time to time. This was validated. I chatted to Nicole the other day. Anton was a believer. He believed in the supreme creator. And his church, I guess, was the beach. His church was the bush. His church was the restaurant. His church was at home. His church was with friends and family. He believed that God was in everything. And so in that vein, he believed that as he went out, he was surrounding himself by his supreme creator. So, Anton, wherever you are right now, we love you. We appreciate you. And we want to wish you Godspeed. So thank you to everyone who have come. And Bev, just get your ass up here and send us off properly, please. Come here, Bev. Just come up here, Bev. We need Bev to come and just give us a proper sending off for Anton. Listen, you got 20 seconds, Bev. Yeah. As always. No. Where's the stand? Remember Anton.
That's not a question. No, thank you. If you ever told Anton you had to be quiet while you were doing something, he would often turn, look at you for a split second, and you could see his thought process in his eyes. And then he would just turn around and shout louder and make even more noise. And more often than not, one of his rather indecent choice faces that obviously I can't repeat right now. So on that note of being really, really, really loud, I know we don't have a roof over us right now. If Anton was here, he would very quickly and very splendidly and very brilliantly put one up, but we don't have one. But there is a saying, to raise the roof, which means to make a great deal of noise, especially through cheering. Anton's family would like you to make as much noise in a whoop, a way, any kind of way. I've heard some whooping here tonight. So on 3, let's make a noise for Anton. 1, 2, 3. Lovely.
On that note, let us go and experience the beautiful bounty that is over there. And Pietri, where are you? If you could just, where is he? I believe it's in through the right, or in through the left over here and out through the right, because this is a special representation of who Anton is. He fed a community, and he fed it with something that was heartfelt and heartwarming. Nothing beats that than soup, but soup with an Anton flair. Thank you to all those, and let's spend the next hour being together and enjoying the soup that is dedicated to Anton. Thank you, everyone, for coming.